Hello everyone, my name is Vaibhav Pandey and today we are going to build a very exciting project. I have a native chatbot that will be built using Tkinter library in Python using and we'll use Google Gemini to make a call to the generative AI LLM, right? So the user will send in a chat request, the model is going to respond back with something and we'll build all of this in Python. But before we dive into the code, let me show you what the finished product looks like. So let's get started. This is what we are going to build. I'm just going to say, if you look at it, there's a title called Gemini, Google Gemini chatbot by Generative Geek. We have an input text box. We have an area where all our chats are going to appear. So I'll say, hey, hi, how are you doing today? Right. So this is the text I'm sending. Let's just see what it responds back with. And it says, hey, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. As a language model, I don't have any other feelings, right? What do you know about New Delhi? Right? So I'll just ask it something about a city, and then let's just see what it responds back with, right? So it gave me a pretty big response saying, hey, it's culture and lifestyle, some places, and all of that. Next, I'll ask it, how is the weather in New Delhi around May and June? Right? So I'll just ask it how is the weather around May and June, and let's see what it comes back with. It says, hey, it's going to be heat. Average is 36, highs are 36, and all that. So this is it. I hope you will, when we start building it, you will have good fun learning how to build such a thing, which is a native GUI app with your own custom title and some widgets. And how do you build it right from scratch? So we'll first start with importing and installing all the necessary libraries. For this project, we have Google Generative AI that we need to install. Now, I have my folder set up ready. In your .env file, if you see, you should have your Google key. I'm not going to show my env file, but if you want to create a .env file, just create, let's just say if this was your .env file, just say, right, whatever, env1, and you can have Google underscore API underscore key. And this is where you should put your Gemini key, right? So the key that you have found for Google, right? I'm going to delete this. Once this is done, what we'll also do is, as part of requirements, we'll have python.env also installed. This will be useful for getting all our necessary environment variables from the .env file. All those keys need to come into the environment variables and then read by the necessary libraries. So this will help us with that. So now let's just quickly create the environment. What I'll do is I'll just say Command Shift P, and that will tell us that, hey, which interpreter we want. I want to create a new environment, and it has to be a .env environment. We'll select my Python file. These is the requirements.txt I want installed. Now this is going to go out and create the environment. I've shown this in several other videos, but this is how you create an environment if you are on a Visual Studio Code. Once this is done, we'll basically go out and start importing our files. So let's assume that this is done. Now I'll go out and start creating our file. So the first things we want to do is, we will import OS, and because our project depends on the GUI and Google Generative AI, so we are going to install them as well. So I'll say import Tkinter as TK. This is the library that we are going to use for our native GUI app. And from Tkinter, I'll also import scrolledtext, right? So I'll basically explain all these things in a while. We are right now just getting started with all the imports. Next, what I want to do is I want to import Google Generative AI. So we'll say Google dot generative AI as Gen AI, right? This is what we want to do. Next, what I want to do is I want to use the environment variables and configure my Gen AI, right? So we'll just say from .env import load.env and find.env. What it does is, this is crucial for keeping our API keys secure and out of our main code base. We'll use find.env to locate our .env file. So this locates where the .env file is, and load.env basically just loads whatever it finds, right? So this is how you get started with the environment variables. Next, all we want to do is we want to say, hey, genai.configure, and I can quickly say my API key is os.environment and os.environ.get, but this is not the key. For us it is google underscore api underscore key. This should be the name. The name of this variable should basically match with your .env file, right? Whatever name you have given there should be entered here. Next, I want to just say what is the model name, and we'll use Gemini hyphen 1.5 hyphen flash hyphen latest, right? So this is the model that I'm going to use, and we'll say model is equal to GenAI dot generative model, and we are going to give it the model name, right? So with this, our generative AI, our Google Gemini is configured. So what we have done is we imported all the necessary libraries, we loaded the environment variables, and now using the environment variables, we have configured our Google Gemini. So we are at that point now. Next, what we want to do is we want to set up the Tkinter window, right? So with our model configured, let's set up our Tkinter window. Tkinter, in case if you don't know already, is a powerful yet very easy to use GUI library in Python. So the way we'll do is we'll say root is equal to tk.tk, and this becomes our root. Sorry, tk.tk, and next, what we'll do, let's give it a title. So we'll say root.title, and we'll say Google Gemini chatbot by generative geek, right? So this becomes my title for the file, for the chatbot. And next we can define some sort of geometry for it, and we can very quickly say that root dot geometry 800 cross 600, right? With this, now our root is set, so our Tkinter window is set. Next, we know what we need to do is we need to define the chat log, right? So the place where in the demo where you saw where all the log was showing up, that we need to define now. So we'll set up the chat log using the scrolled text widget that we earlier imported. So this is the scroll text widget that we imported. Now what we'll do is we'll set up the chat log, set up chat log using scroll text widget, right? So this is what we are going to do. So we'll say our log is equal to scroll text dot scroll text. I'm just accepting whatever it is giving me, and we'll define some width and height. So we'll say width is 100 and height is 30, right? So, and we are keeping the state as disabled, because what we don't want is that users start writing on the chat log, right? So the chat log has to be disabled from writing directly there, right? And we can even define some font here. So we can say, if you have a font in mind, we can even say, hey, our font has to be, let's say if I go with Helvetica. You can pick whatever font is installed on your system. I'm going with the standard one, Helvetica, and I'll say the size needs to be 20, so that's slightly bigger and visible. But you can keep it like 16, 12, whatever works for you, right? Next, what we want to do is we want to pack this up. So this is how you basically pack it up and ensure that it is available on the window, right? So we are done with setting up the Tkinter window. This was the main window, and within the main window, we now have a chat log that is available, right? So next step is that we need some sort of a user input field. So what we'll do is we'll take an entry widget for user input, and this is where whatever users will type their messages, that will be available, and we'll pack it to make sure it's visible in our window, right? So we are going to set up the input field for users to basically come in and start typing whatever they want, whatever chats they want, and we'll do entry is equal to tk.entry, and we are going to say, hey, this is part of the root, and the width has to be 50. So again, we can set up a width here, how big you want the the user input field to be, and I'm giving it a font Helvetica 20, again the same way. and you pack it, right? So this is all you do, right? This is, you have seen, like, we've hardly written like 6 lines of code till now in Tkinter. We define the main window, then we define the chat area, and we have now defined the input field, right? So we are in a way done with just the window part of it. Now what we need to do is we need to handle the logic for the user input. Whatever the user input comes in, we want to now send that to Gemini, right? So in order to handle that, where whatever the user input is coming in, I want to handle and send that to Gemini. This is the most interesting part of this entire thing. And what we'll do is we'll start with a method called send, and this send method will then have, we'll say, message is nothing but entry dot get. Whatever you get from the entry widget, we'll pack that, we'll take that, and we'll delete whatever was already there. So we'll delete the input widget, so the input is now empty as soon as you enter it. And then log.config will say state is equal to normal. We want to bring it out of the disabled state. It was in disabled state. We want to bring it out of the disabled state so that we can now write there. So we'll bring it out from the disabled state, and we'll then say log.insert. So we now want to insert things there. So we'll say tk.end and u and message plus n, right? So whatever is the message, we are saying, hey, you type this, right? And the other thing could be a bot or Google Gemini, whatever we want. And next what we'll say is we'll say response is equal to model dot generate underscore content, and we'll pass it the message. This is what we want to pass it, right? So we'll pass it the message. um, if you remember, we had the model here, and we now know that, hey, this is Gemini 1.5 flash latest. We now want to call the generate content with this message, like whatever the user inputted, that's my message, because that's what we have done, entry.get. And this is what the response will be. Now once the response comes back, what you want to do is, again, the same way, we'll say, hey, log.insert tk.end, tk.end, and we'll say Gemini, and whatever is the response dot text, not just the response, we'll say response dot text, and we'll insert a new line, right? So that's what we are doing here, right? So fairly simple. I just, when we designed the scroll text, we said it should be disabled. Next, when we have the send method, we have first configured the chat log to become normal so that we can start inserting stuff there. Once the inserts are done, I'll again bring it back into the disabled state, right? So that you cannot write anything again on it. And next what we'll say is we'll say y view auto scroll to the end of the log. So this basically say, hey, whatever is the end of the log, you auto scroll back to it, right? So this defines my send method. Now with this, we are there. Next, let's define the send button. So we'll say send underscore button is equal to tk dot button. This is how you bring out a button, and say the button will be part of root, and the text of the button has to be send, and we'll call the send method whenever it is pressed, right? So we'll say send. Again, you can define fonts and all that. I'm not getting into it right now. Next, what you want to do is you want to pack it. Whatever widget you define in Tkinter, if you want that widget to be available on the UI, you have to pack it up, right? And next, last step is you start the Tkinter main loop. And the way you do it is, you, whatever is your window, so our window is called root, you take that window and you call main loop on it, right? So this basically completes our code, right? So we started, this is it. They're like, even with the spaces, we are at 48 lines of code with all the imports and all the liberal space usage that I've done. And very, very simple, right? So we started with all the imports. We have all the loading of the environment variables. We configured Gemini. Then we said, hey, let's get to creating the GUI. So this is our setup of the Tkinter window. We said root is tk. We gave it a title. We gave it a geometry. You gave it some scroll text area. Then we defined our entry window, and we next defined how should interaction with Google Gemini be done. We had like a send button which took things from the input window, and whenever it was pressed, that's when actually the send method will get called, right? So because we have the command is equal to send here, right? and root is equal to tkinter main root dot main loop. Next, all I need to do is just go to my terminal. So we'll go to the terminal, and I'll say Python uh, GUI based Google underscore Gemini dot main dot py, and I'll press enter. No module named Tkinter. Okay. Let's just see what went wrong. Uh, so it looks like I don't have Tkinter, which is kind of strange. But okay, let's do this. I'll do a sudo apt-get install python 3 tk. Oh, sorry, I need to go to my main terminal to be able to install this. So I'll just pause this video and run this command on my main terminal and come back. So I have done that. I am now back. The way I had to do was because I my Python is managed. I'm on a Mac, so I used Homebrew to install Python TK. It's now done. So let's just run this. So again, this is my code and this is the terminal. Let's just run this thing again. I have Python Google GenAI.py, and I'll run this and. So this is the window that got launched. You can see I have my title here, Google Gemini Chatbot by Generative Geek. Now let's just try sending it hi and see what comes back. I've pressed the send button. The bot says, hi there. What can I do for you? Right? I'll say, tell me in 2 sentences about New Delhi. Right? So I'll just say, tell me in 2 sentences. The reason you are seeing this delay is because in our code, what we have is we have this part of the code where we have this send method that gets called, and within this itself we are first writing the message, and then we are calling the model, right? So if there's no delay in between this, so you are seeing the delay come in here, both the messages are coming together, right? It's not like, hey, we send the message and then you have the bot reply back in, let's say, another 1 second, right? uh, do you remember what I asked you earlier? Now this is the tricky part here, right? So if you see, this guy doesn't have any memory of its own, right? So it says, as an AI, I have no memory. So all the conversations are stateless. Uh, what I'll recommend is, I've already done a few videos where I have described how you can add memory to chatbots. In my last video on just the previous video on Google Gemini, I also discussed how you can do multi-turn conversations where all the responses that we are getting from what we are typing, what the model is replying back, we can start saving it as part of some list, and we can start sending it back with the message, right? So instead of just sending one message, which is entry.get, I can send the entire history along with this message, right? So that's an experiment I'll suggest that you guys do. This was it. Hope you learned something interesting. Thank you. So, and that's it. What we did is we created a very simple chatbot using Google Generative AI Gemini and Tkinter in Python. I hope that this project is a great way for you to get started with generative AI and GUI programming in Python. If you enjoyed this video, it's a humble request that please like, share, subscribe to Generative Geek for more such content. Till then, thank you so much and happy coding.